Big news today. Evercade is releasing a home arcade called the Evercade Alpha. Let's find out all about it. They've got a Street Fighter model with 6 Street Fighter games. They got a Mega Man model. Games like Mega Man Final Fight, Strider, Knights of the Round. Single joystick, 6 buttons, takes 2 cartridges. It's the first Evercade compatible arcade. Excited about this. I know Brooklyn Menace predicted, correctly by the way, that Evercade would be making an arcade. And here it is, the Evercade Alpha. Hello gamers and welcome to Papa Brad's Gaming, where today we're going to take a long-awaited look at the new arcade from Evercade, the Alpha. This will be a review of the Mega Man Deluxe model. You have to understand where Papa Brad comes from. I've been an arcade gamer for as long as I can remember. And these arcade games and retro games to me are special. So when I found out about Evercade, I really got into the console. I like what they're doing. I love the cultivated retro game collections. I love the awesome physical media, the cartridges. They come with the books. And it's just a great thing to collect. And the Evercade in of itself is a great product. If you're into retro games, I would recommend you check out Evercade. But I'm going to take a look at this from the standpoint of an arcade gamer. Someone that has a bunch of home arcades. What do I think of this Evercade Alpha? How good is it? Where does it stack up? Here we're taking a look at the packaging. Comes in a beautiful white box. There's the front. Let's flip it around. There's the side. Got Mega Man artwork. What could be cooler than that? On the back, it shows the games. 6 games included. You get 6 Marquees if you get the deluxe version. We'll talk about that in the review. Here's the games. You get 2 Mega Man games, Strider, Knights of the Round, Final Fight, and Carrier Air Wing. Nice mix of different kinds of games. Got some beat 'em ups. You got a shmup in there. So pretty good games list. They did really well with the included games. But I was more excited about being an Evercade product. So let's open this mug up. We got some tape on the top. I'm gonna have to cut that free. And we open it up. You got an awesome instruction manual. I had to look at the manual to figure out how to do the sound. I got 6 Marquees with this model. I'm gonna show you all the Marquees. Knights of the Round, Strider, Final Fight, which is my favorite beat 'em up. I love Final Fight. As far as a beat 'em up, that is a A-list. You got a great poster, comes with it. Look at that. They always give you the extras with the Evercade. That's one of the things I really like about Evercade. You got all the electric parts. Then you got an awesome blue controller. I'll probably use that on my regular Evercade VS too. Get rid of that foam. It's packed in there nice and snug. Let's get that mug out of there, Papa Brad. Absolute fire with the first impression on the packaging. Well packaged. Did have a bit of a hard time with the getting all the plastic off of this unit. I'm gonna switch out the Marquee right off the bat. I'm a bigger fan of Final Fight than I am of Mega Man, so I'm gonna probably put the Final Fight Marquee on to start. Let's get the plastic off the plexiglass that does the Marquee. Marquee is real simple. You just sit it in there and it just snaps right in place. There's nothing to change in Marquees. It's just a total piece of cake on this unit. The screen was another matter. Now I knew from building a bunch of arcade 1-ups, you have to take the screws out because they put the screws on with the plastic. So remove the screws before you peel the plastic back. It's a huge tip and it'll make it come out a lot cleaner. Let's get the Final Fight Marquee in there. It's again a great Capcom beat 'em up. Comes included on the unit. Just like that. We're good to go on the Marquee. Take that screwdriver. Take those screws out before peeling it back so you don't end up with plastic underneath the screws. Even with doing that, there was some plastic jammed in the bottom that was very hard to get unlodged and get loose. So they could have done a little bit better with that, in my opinion. It's not an ideal experience from a user standpoint. I already knew to take the screws out from doing these arcades before like this. Upon starting the unit, the first thing you do is put in your Wi-Fi password, and then you're going to update the unit's firmware. Now that the firmware is completed, let's take a look at the fit and finish of the unit, my first impressions. One thing I don't like, I mean, look at all the screw holes. They have a ton of screw holes. At least they put caps on them. But same thing with our K1-Up, but lots of screw holes. Speakers sound pretty good from my first impression. It's the back of the unit. The back of the unit looks good. It's black, basic. But I feel like too many would have been better if it didn't have so many screw holes. As far as the design, here's the other side. Let's look at both sides. Let's take a look at both sides. There's one side. Notice all the screw hole covers. Not a huge fan of that, but they did put covers on them, so it's not as bad. Back of the unit's pretty basic. Let's look at the other side. Get the Mega Man artwork. Speakers right here. Speakers, looks like it's both sides have speaker holes. So let's say for as far as the cabinet construction, you know, it's probably like maybe like an 8. It's about on par with our K1-Up. I wouldn't say it's any better or any worse. It's about on par with what our K1-Up has done. Screen is fantastic. Screen looks very, very sharp, very clear. The Marquee is faded. I do not like that. Let's check out the other Marquees real quick before I play. So the Final Fight Marquee just looks faded to me. Let's take a look at the other Marquees that came with it. See, to take the Marquee out, I think you just pop it out. Yeah, it's nothing to it. Basic. So there's what Final Fight Marquee looks faded. Let's look at the other ones. Mega Man 2. I like that one a bit more. Strider. Knights of the Round. That's pretty cool. Kara Airwing. Well, actually, I like that a lot. That looks really good. Mega Man Power Battle. You can see why they went with that Marquee. It's the best looking one. So just initial impressions. Looks like they went with the best Marquee. That is kind of cool too. You snap one back in there so we can continue this review. Okay. So you go, Knights of the Round. Interface. Pretty smooth. I mean, it's pretty easy to do a slick interface for only 6 games. The interface is nice and clean. Let's see what you got here. Let's play a little bit. Let's get an idea what the controls feel like. Control deck is very small. Very small. But I mean, it is, you know, for what it is, it's meant to be small. It's the design of the unit. So let's Some coins. And I get to pick who I want to be. Guess I'll just be Lancelot. Checking the buttons to see what they feel like. Basic Samwa. If you're familiar with Samwa, you'll get what you're paying for. Samwa controls. I was watching some reviews. I did see a review from Barnes Arcade where you had a sticky Samwa button. But that is probably the button's fault. It's probably not Evercade's fault, but still would be a bummer. The Samwa buttons are very, very light action. You just tap them. And having done a bunch of mods with Samwa, these are excellent controls. For a home product, this is about as good as you can get. If you like Samwa controls, this has got the actual Samwa controls. The control panel is very small. Marquees are not super well executed. You do get 6 of them, but they're not perfect either. You can see some light bleed, a little bit of light bleed, and also they're faded a little bit. I think they probably chose wisely. I think the Marquee they chose was the best Marquee. But it's cool to have options. The 6 Marquees is cool, but I would say moving forward for me, it's not a massive factor. Games play perfect. It's exactly the way it should be. This is a great game. I have a full review of this game on the Evercadians channel where I go through the whole game and talk about it. Great video. Check it out if you have a chance. It's Knights of the Round. It's one of the included games on the Evercade Alpha. Okay, so let's go to the menu. Let's see what you can do. Let's see. You can load from a save. You can quick save. Display settings. Original ratio. Full screen. Scan lines. Bezel. Let's see what the scan lines look like if I go strong. Interesting. Yeah. Gives it more of that CRT look. I don't know if it'll show up on camera. We'll leave those off though. Turn it back the way it was. Display settings. So you can put scan lines on it. Okay, let's play some Final Fight. That's what I want to play next. Love this game. There you go, one of the best beat 'em ups of all time, Final Fight. Let's rock it. Put some coins in. And we're off. These buttons are only 2-button games, so I'm going to put something more advanced. Awesome. It's Final Fight. Final Fight plays great. It's a great game, just like you would expect. Yeah, this is super sweet. For a very small form factor, it's pretty good. Guess that's Final Fight. Let's check out some of the other included games. Okay, so when you plug the controller in, it just works. Looks like you can have up to 3 players. So player 2 would be on the controller. Player 1. Player 1, okay. Let's say I got player 2. It's weird, it's still player 1. So maybe it needs to be another joystick. Let's see. So this would be the other port. Player 1. Okay, let's start. Okay, now, so it has to be in the second port to be player 2. Okay, so that's interesting. So there's 2 USB ports in the front. This is player 1, this is player 2. Pretty cool. Okay, so you can't play up to three players. Awesome. Okay, that's that game. Mega Man 2, The Power Fighters. Let's check out the next game. Some cool videos on all these games on the Evercadians. Definitely got lots of some good Capcom games here. Plays Arthur. It's a great beat 'em up. Controls are excellent. It's got the Sanwa controls. Very light action. If you like Sanwa, you're going to be in heaven with this. This is some good arcade controls. Control panel's very small. Don't have a lot of room here. I mean, there's just enough room for your hand, but it's very, very small control panel. Form factor. I mean, I understand that's a design. You're going for it being small. So as a look at some of the included games, I'll play a few of my favorites too. Then I'm going to sum it up with a final review. Absolutely, I love this. This is great. I mean, this is for what it is. It's very good. Very well done.
I'm the wizard.
May the gods guide you in your quest to safety.
The dragon, look at that. Wow, cool. So now I've played some games on the Evercade Alpha. What do I think of it? I think it's pretty awesome. It's a very small form factor. Don't have a lot of space for your hands. You know, will I use it when I play Evercade arcade games? Probably from time to time, for sure. Is this going to replace any of my multicades? Absolutely not. Is it good hardware for the price? That's a tough call because it has good controls, has a great screen, but the form factor is very small. I would have liked to have seen HDMI out on it. I think that's a huge miss. But overall, I think it's pretty good. What would I rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? I'd rate it about an 8. I'm hearing a lot of people giving it very high ratings, and from someone that has a ton of arcade equipment, has a lot of multicades. I mean, it's not bad, but it's definitely not a 9 or a 10. It's good for the form factor. It's not bad for the price. It's a little pricey for what it is, but if you have a huge Evercade collection, this is definitely a must-have because it just enables you to play Evercade games using the arcade controls, which is nice. Overall, for their first attempt, I think Evercade did a fantastic job on this Evercade Alpha Arcade. Like I said, some of my nitpicks, the form factor is very small, not much room for the hands. Some of the marquees are very washed out looking, which is, could have been avoided. I think some games run good on it. Some games, the controls don't really work great. You're probably better off with the gamepad. But, let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. This has been Papa Brad's Gaming. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, hit the thumbs down. Maybe subscribe, come back, give me another chance at a later time. But thank you. I appreciate it. Stay legit.